Hello, and welcome back to Kaiserreich. We don't have nearly the voting block that we need. We need 249. We're currently at 208. We probably want to expand the Vilayet reforms. Oh my gosh, we need to, quote, dismantle state monopolies. Which is somewhere. Has national spirit dismantled. Oh, duh. Doi. Right. Okay. I think I may have screwed up. Because what I should be doing is... First of all, we're gonna lose 14 days of progress. It's not the end of the world. We're gonna break up state monopolies. And then we're gonna shift power. Because I can only lose so much support. It's one of those things where I'm like, if I understood things a little bit better, I'd be awesome, but I don't, so. Right. I also should send my forces to. I have no idea how I really want to be able to be using this right now. There's just no hard points to defend. Dude, we're gonna fight over, like... What's the place that got, like, Pierre? Again? I remember my Japan game, I fought over Pierre a heck of a lot. I think right now what I probably just want to do is defend Salt Lake City and just accept that I'm not going to make any progress here. Right now. Do we want to mess around here? I feel like Hyderabad is the one we want to win. I feel like we kind of want the Dominion of India to, like, lose. But it's kind of screwy, so it doesn't really matter. We'll wait for our volunteer forces to come back. Okay. We're going to get logistics company, because at some point we're going to get that. Fall Madrid. Welcome back, volunteer forces. By the way, Fall Madrid, not so good. I'm gonna send forces to Hyderabad, and that's it. Hyderabad. Oh, right, there's an Italian Civil War thing going on. Oh, do I care about the Italian Federation? I guess. I guess we'll send volunteers to the Italian Federation. Paladin! Paladin, indeed. We'll just send regular infantry, I guess. No, I'm gonna send, you are gonna go to here. And then you are that'll do it. Alright. And then I think what we're gonna do is, like, start training up our army. Oh, yeah, that's the one we want. Wait, how are we doing on Arab nationalists? I think we have maxed out Arab nationalists. We literally have maxed up Arab nationalists. There's no point to that. Alright. The Iraqi question. The vilayets of Iraq, Mosul, Baghdad, Basra, have long proven too difficult to govern effectively as the limited authority of the walis are relying too much on direct orders from the capital and abysmal revenues. To solve part of these issues and to establish a stronger rule over border provinces throughout the 19th century, multiple requests for a merger of the vilayets into a larger Iraqi unit were refused time upon time to avoid creating a power block that could threaten the central government. In 1826, however, with the collapse of the British Empire and the reannexation of Basra and Kuwait, the vilayets of Basra and Baghdad would be united and placed under the discretion of a single wali. Under Yashin al-Hashimi, in 1928, the Mosul wali would furthermore be placed under the command of his Baghdadi colleague, with the Sulaymaniyah region inhabited by Sunni Kurds separated, with most of Iraq brought under the central command structure. Many question what is supposed to have happened to it now that vilayet laws been revised. Some argue it should remain a singular block to provide a stable frontier against the Persian, while others believe that due to its relatively large and diverse population, split up into Sunni and Shiite both, with their own provincial assemblies. That would be Mosul and Baghdad. The question of the Assyrian people of Basra also remained a sore point, as separating them into a larger entity would please the Assyrians but lead to issues with large Shiite population. So, like, I think we're just going to go Mosul, Baghdad. Oh boy, the Sardinians, they're relevant.
Dikkatle dinleyin.
I'm literally just gonna chill here. Oh dear. Privatization of state monopolies. Formed during, in large part, during the Estatis. We'll get to you. Anyways, privatization of the state monopoly is formed in large part during the Estatis period between 1920 and 1931. Much of our nation's economy rests in the hands of a few large state companies, as goes against liberal principles and ruins the possibility for private initiative. The Chamber of Deputies has earlier today voted for the abolition of the privatization of the market. The question remains, however, to what degree should we open this up to foreign investment, as many fear that by ceding control of vital parts of the Ottoman economy might once again fall to the hands of Western powers to the detriment of our people. To remedy this potential threat, they propose that only investors with the Ottoman nationality can partake in the process, and that foreign companies willing to invest in the market are obligated to utilize Ottoman manpower. The term "the TPC affair" does not seem like a great idea. We're going to tread carefully. Alright, oh my gosh. No, I'm not going to do that. Alright. Trouble in Basra! Trouble started to brew in Basra. I think we're going to have to cromp these guys, right? Oh, they're only medium. It's not great, but, like, it is what it is. Trouble started to brew in Basra as the Syrian minority feels that it is underrepresented in the Baghdadi Provincial Assembly. Once more demands the creation of a Syrian autonomous region around the city of Basra. The demands have been met with less than positive reception by the Arab and Turkish population of the region. Fear the separation of the two vilayets would lead them becoming a minority within their homeland, looking weirdly at the influence exerted by the Maronites on the Druze people of Mount Lebanon. So, yeah, no. If I need to crush the Assyrians, then so be it. Okay. Okay, so how are we doing in terms of... Yeah, we basically do not have the support of conservatives. We do not have the support of Turkish nationalists. We do not have the support of independents, which means it's time to cut taxes. That option does not exist here. Can't do it here. But we can do it here. Oh, we can do it here. But not here. Yeah. Time to cut taxes. Oh, we don't need to do that. Because it's Arab nationalists. This is Arab nationalists. This is... independence! Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Oh, you need to spend political power to do that, lol. That is increasing the amount of juice that we have. Let's encourage private initiative. As we build up our political power yet again. Expansion of the Greek merchant navy. Traditionally led by the Greek population, the Ottoman state shipping industry of Western Anatolia and the Aegean Isles is world-renowned and has, despite frequent crises prompted by conflict between Turks and Greeks, steadily grown during the interbellum. With a massive economic crisis gripping countries around the globe, the American nation in complete collapse, various shrewd entrepreneurs have smelled a chance of success and have started to buy up various merchant ships from all around the world. Leading the charge on this is the well-known Aristotle Onassis. I'm like, wait, do I know that guy? Yeah, I think the Onassis guy is, like, substantial in some way. I don't remember why. Is he related to the Kennedys in some way? OTL? Whatever. Anyways, native of Izmir. It's just, that's so random. Anyways. Who is together with other Greek families built up a true shipping imperium on the Aegean coast. As many of these ships sail under flags of other nations, questionable whether this will have far-reaching consequences in the Ottoman economy. For Ottoman banks, who nonetheless decided to grant extensive loans to these takeover operations. Let us hope they will employ Turks as well. We'll take American convoys. We're monopolizing the American convoys. Okay. This guy. Maybe defensive doctrine or offensive doctrine. Let's do an offensive doctrine. Camo and, I guess, probing attack. Infantry expert. Infantry expert. We'd love to see it. Alright. Oh yeah, we have a bunch of guys everywhere. How we doing? Italiano volunteers. Alright, we're gonna go to Verona and hopefully we can prevent it from falling. Sicilian volunteers, you're less critical. You just stay there. Oh hey, the Romans. Like quick, we'll send volunteers to defend the Papal States. Even though we're the theoretical head of the Muslims worldwide. Oh, okay. Turkish nationalists leave the DF, disillusioned by the continued cooperation of the DF with the HIF, and fully convinced the path they've chosen is destined to lead the empire to ruin. A group of Turkish nationalists has announced they will break their ties with the party and form their own faction. While this comes as a significant blow, the party may eventually lead them to abandon the coalition. If further signs point this way, the government still currently has a workable coalition. stares directly at... Dude, we are gaining nothing. That bloated bureaucracy is, like, actually actually terrible. We're not going to make it to Verona. Are we? Oh, wait, we might. Oh, they're fighting amongst themselves. I think they're, like... Yeah, these guys have, like, some content now, right? Yeah, they got, like... It's not, like, skeleton content, but it's, like, they have some content. What the? Oh, these are the, like, Catholic rebels or whatever. I'm not gonna do anything. Go defend Cartagena. Do not want Cartagena to fall. This is very silly. Just hold the city around. Maybe do more than that. Try to cromp these guys. I think we're, like, way low on Turkish nationalists at this point, right? We're not maxed on independence. And we have no Turkish nationalists, so... Alright. The abandoned properties laws. As the deportation of Armenians and Greeks increased during the Weltkrieg and the death count started to ramp up, their possessions were usually left behind and confiscated by local Muslims. To deal with the growing amount of abandoned houses and other properties, these were ultimately placed under the regulations of the abandoned properties laws. And made possession of the state until the original owner could return and prove his ownership. During the war, however, these properties were used as payment and enticement for local Kurds and other Muslims, their contribution to the war and deportations in specific. It is what it is. As the war came to an end, many of the Armenians... Well, I mean, it's genocide. That's what it is. Anyways, as the war came to an end, many of the Armenians deported along the Homs, Hama, Damascus route returned to Sicilia. Those new owners of properties were evidently less interested in returning these. This reminds me not of a genocide, but of stuff that happened in the United States. Like, this is what happened in some cases if you were put in camps because you were Japanese internment in the United States during World War II. You would have your property, like, get basically taken over by your neighbor, and your neighbor would be like, well, this is mine now. Because you were in jail for 4 years for being Japanese. Anyways, a commission was sent from Constantine to solve the issue and peacefully assist in the restitution of the property, but heavy opposition, that's strange, from local Muslim residents, boosted by the efforts of local CUP leaders such as, oh my god, Taskiza de Abdullah, Kasudazde, Hussein Semil Bey, Mamat Aghazaid Ali Effendi, the Kurd, Hasi Osman Aga, and Hafiz Savin Effendi ultimately forced them to withdraw, despite pleas of the Central Service of Armenian Reparation. The Armenians in question will ultimately be painted as traitors to the Ottoman Empire, enemies of the state, and willing collaborators of the Entente occupation of 1918 and 1919. The Armenian deputies never stopped fighting for restitution, however, and with their hopes invested in the HIF to finally give them back their land, they have seen in the recent sales of Miri land an opportunity to receive a fair compensation for their losses during the war. Many Muslim deputies, however, are firmly opposed to these ideas, with members of the OHF going as far as to say this is a reward for the treachery during the war. Oh boy, this has prompted the Armenian deputies to lose their patience with the coalition. Their inability to take a decisive stance on the issue has now led to an ultimatum. Either their people are compensated or all Armenians withdraw from the coalition. We need to compensate them. Which should actually increase our vote total. 2010 is not like a lot, man. Alright, so how are we standing on support? We have max on Arab nationalists, min from Turkish nationalists, max from independents, and we are lacking in conservatives. So we're looking for nationalists and conservatives. Who wants a tax cut? We don't have any political power. We need political power. We might just, like, straight up not do a focus, just so we can bank political power for that. I think I'm going to do exactly that. Like, what else am I going to do? Oh, nice. Our defensive Verona proved to be successful. Maybe now go to... I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Yeah, we're just going to leave that. Bro! Are you kidding me? Brought to the parliamentary floor by a group of opposition members, a clear link has been established between the Undersecretary of the Grand Vizier and unknown expenditure of the Ottoman treasury. Furthermore, they have proved that the man misused his position to empower his friends and family, granting them significant properties from the Deferdarlik Internal Revenue Office in the region of Antibes. This news was further soured by the testimony of Antibes citizens, who pointed out the property seized by the Ottoman state during the Armenian deportations and never returned, even though the original inhabitants safely found a way home against all odds. This unfortunate correlation has had a significant reproduction on the Armenian delegates to the HIF who, out of protest, have announced their immediate departure from the coalition, taking their place amongst the independents. Most unfortunate. Well, this sucks. Anyways. Nice! We managed to crunch on in there. Bro! How's Adana? What are we doing in Adana? Somewhere around here. Just take me there? Weird. Oh boy. So these are bad situations. Conflict in Antibes. The recent decision of the government to revise the seized property of Armenian citizens during the war period caused quite a stir in the city of Antibes, as protests and riots by the Muslim population of the city against these plans have started to escalate once more. As these properties have by now passed through many hands, some even converted to industrial sites, the Turks are fighting tooth and nail to keep their imperial inspectors from restoring them to the original Armenian owners. Serious backlash that the HIF is receiving from the actions has caused them to consider once more recent interest groups in Adana and Antibes are finding support amongst the OHF for their struggle. The Armenian delegation remains steadfast throughout and insists proper return to land still threatening to bail from the coalition if the demands aren't met. I mean, we're going to give in to the Turks at this point. Actually, maybe we give in the Armenians. We still haven't technically gotten any Turkish nationalists on board. Monarchy restored Greece. Okay. War preparations. So war reparations. Anyways. Okay. So. I don't know if there's going to be any, Alright, we need, deputies. Bruh. Alright. Okay. Hey, it's Kazakhstan. Which is broken away somehow. That's interesting. Bukharans are crushed. Some guy falls ill. Oh, beans. Alright.
Harekete hazırım. Harekete hazırım. Hadi durmayın, devam.
How are things going in America? I need to get involved somehow. Just standing around doing nothing. Sure, we'll go to the border with Cyan. And no Europa voting pending. Okay, just give me arms industry, whatever. Oh, Nepal has decided to jump in. Okay. Man, do your thing.
Baş üstüne efendim.
That doesn't do anything. Wait, what? How is this happening again? Didn't you already win? Bukhara has joined the Moscow Accord. Okay.
Emredersiniz efendim.
First provincial elections. Recently agreed upon in the Meklis Mebusan, the first provincial elections in the history of the Ottoman Empire have gone forward. The overseeing authorities report that the elections have occurred without much incident, though the turnout at first glance seems to be minimal, with many Kurdish and Iraqi vilayets not showing up in their booths. Nonetheless, all the seats have been filled, and the elections have declared a grand success in the liberal media, declaring the event a turning point in Ottoman history and the part with the Tanzimat reforms. Not the greatest of starts, but it shall do for now. Okay. So, what we really want are Turkish nationalists. Not conservatives. Yeah. Alright, well, either way, I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.